It's like, mwah. So this is part 2. I'm actually thankful they did this. This is what you hear, this trash. You hear this, having this child be in the hallways and be like, mwah, mwah, mwah. And at the end, I'm actually, the noxious is like, mwah. Because the thing is going to make me subscribe to this. This baby, younger than this child, being tortured in the program. This trash over there in these hallways deserve to be killed for what they're part of. For all the niños dying in this program. And I said the word specifically because you listen to the language these people are using. They thought I was going to subscribe to that. Like I said in part 1, the reason why they were doing this thing is because I was supposed to be subscriptive of this manipulation. Go watch my video about Bezo. What you're supposed to be is they were trying to make me subscribe that today, this disgusting pedophilia type of torture that you're going to hear they do in this program is not the manipulation that they know to be doing. It's matching to me as a child. They are I swear to God, somebody literally say, we're mimicking, that we're pairing how you would feel when it's not even true. They're just trying to utilize what a child can do as a kid. What you heard a grown woman training her child to try to say that. And I was like, oh, thank you. For me, they thought I was going to be annoyed. It's like, oh my gosh, in part 1, I was not able to make this video. So let me just start from the beginning. I'm what you call a target individual. I was put in this program by an employer who is very known for influence in the country. Governmental influence, but they sell. It's a privately owned company, very, very big in the field they're in. Big influencer in this country. They put me in this governmental program. This is a governmental program, targeting visual. We all know that. It's the government doing that to us. You're going to hear this woman that you're seeing here say literally, it's the government in charge of this program, where some of these people participating that get a salary or some kind of incentive for even torturing children. These clowns that you hear next door, this is what the government threw at us. Now, for me, I don't have much to do, right? I'm supposed to be tormented. I'd rather capture this disgustingness that you hear in the hallway and be able to put that in their face. And you hear me just mocking them because I know that for me to experience that, somebody making a kissing nose, a child, I'll be like, oh, get stimulation. Never happen unless my brain is being manipulated. So I was like, no, it's like, mwah. You can hear this. Some neighbors that were supposed to annoy me open the door. I'm like, what? You think you can torture children and I'm going to let you live in this deluded reality? I was like, no, it's like, mwah, do mwah. Now these perps are going to live within the reality of what they're part of. That this is not a program that is protecting children. They are changing people's brain, including mine, as a target individual, to experience this. I never would internalize this. Like, you think I'm going to be like, oh no, you know what? Let me change your brain to you as a child. That doesn't even make sense in the first place. That's not even what they're doing. That's how they want me to rationalize this manipulation. I was like, let's go. You torture babies. I swear to God that you're not going to live your fantasy. When this woman was like, mwah, I was like, no, it's like, mwah, like that. And even though I was forced to get the experience, even when I do it myself, when I make that noise, I was like, you will never, because there's babies like your child over there that's making this, that you're training to make this noise campaign. There's babies like that dying and suffering in this program. I swear to God, they should take kids away from this low life. But for me, I guess they thought that they're being good at what they're doing. You hear me even milk his nose like, nah. Somebody opened the door like it was going to annoy me. I'm like, nigga. Excuse my language. I'm sorry. When I get a little angry, I turn a little bit more urban. I have a book right now where it's a target individual book, and there is even children with forced seizure and convulsion. I know what these things do. This program do to children. I know this trash doing that in the hallway. You know what babies are going through in this program. For me, I will have no hesitation. This trash occurs. The future is done. Their future is done. I know that I should be grateful for one thing. That somehow I didn't end up being in a circumstance where I'll become a perp like what you just heard. Thinking that it's going to make somebody internalize this manipulation. Listen, I know they do that to agitate me, to annoy me. But this is not just, my life is, let me just calm down and just say this in a calm way. I'm not here to demoralize anybody who's a target individual. Stay strong and fight till the last breath. But unfortunately, I'm not scared of death. And I understand that they have damaged my brain and my body to the point where there's no return. So for me, death is not something I'm scared of. I will not run to it. Or hopefully I won't. But one thing is for sure. If it comes, it comes. I will not be scared of it. Maybe I might even be welcoming of it. But this slow life, this piece of craps that you heard, oh no, these people have something waiting for them. You know how thirsty I am to confront them. I'm so wanting to confront them. So wanting. Oh, I'm waiting for the second I get the chance to do that. I am waiting. Everybody knows that I want so much of this confrontation, and it's going to be very bad because there's children and women suffering this program, and I know this trash out, this low life that the government throws at us, and I can't wait to face them. Just like the current employer excite these people here, who are not even the reason why I'm putting this program, but they are opportunists. I'm not going to reveal the industry that will make them that much of an opportunist. I'll confront them the right way. These people here, I'll confront them the right way, and I'm looking for that. I can't wait for it. You know, one day I got excited. Somebody knocked on the door. I was like, oh, maybe this like police or something like that. I was so excited. It's like, wait a minute. I got my camera. I was like, oh my gosh, finally the day comes. It was just some salesperson for Spectrum. I was disappointed. The best part is like, yeah, we're going to evict you. I was like, oh, okay. Come. I'm welcome. First of all, I don't care too much about this place. To be honest, I have no attachment to this neighborhood, but this apartment or wherever I live. I truly don't have any connection to this. I lived here for a long time, but I was already a target individual. I already made, quite a few videos at that point. I got here, I'm so disconnected to this place. So when they threatened me to go and evict me, I was like, okay. The only thing that annoys me is that I don't want to pack stuff. I just want to walk, just get out of here. But my point is, I have no problem confronting them. The best part is they think they're going to intimidate me because I cracked the door open and I was mimicking. I'm like, you really think I'm going to be... Listen, they hate the way I confront my coworkers in my calm and polite way. And I don't know if I give the facade or the presentation that I'm a very passive individual, but I have no problem confronting, especially in this situation. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, I am looking for, and I have a body cam, by the way. I have multiple body cam. I can't wait. They try to even intimidate me that you're going to be here. I was like, my soul is gone already. But I'm going to take yours before that, if it goes that way. You hear this trash? Training his child or her child. Oh, by the way, the best part is like they tell me that's my child. I'm like, ugh, sad, poor kid. This is the most pathetic one. Oh god, that is really sad. It kind of like brings back reality. It's like, oh my gosh, the future of this child is not looking good. It is really sad. I can't even believe people can have their kids like I said in the first part of the video. I can't even believe that people can have children and have no foresight in regard of what it looks like for their children. I thought as a parent that your whole life will be based on your child's future. That you do things today and do everything possible so your child's future is bright. I couldn't even imagine people can purposely, awarely, be aware of it. That they have no conscience of the future of their children, that they tell me they're going to have children, act like they got victimized to the point that the child that you're hearing is my child, and the mother is one of this victimized individual that they gonna act like she's victimized. That's not even an adult. I'm like, oh Lord. And the best part is they don't think twice about, okay, so what does it mean for the child that is going to play that role? What does it mean for the child of the child that's supposed to act like that's my child? I was like, you willing to literally destroy their future for somebody like me who's already gone? Okay. Well, let me say that aloud. But with that being said, I don't have no sympathy for them. Children are dying and suffering this. I have no pity. As a matter of fact, I don't even like calling them children at this point. Because when I face them, I will not have sympathy for them. I'll face them the right way. I guarantee you. They enjoy this. They gamify this whole thing. They're killing children. They're torturing them. Then they do this brain manipulation, wanting me to accept this thing based on what you hear. You heard the child, and you hear the woman. Matter of fact, they were stimulating me even when the woman was doing it. Matter of fact, they stimulate me when I'm doing it myself. When I'm saying, try to make me think, no, remember when. Let me just bring back these people who are here torturing children to the point of seizure force, sexual torture, making children having sexual dreams, sexual harm to the private parts, blindness, fevers, all kind of damage that you're gonna hear. Again, because I'll put that in their feet. I want to listen to that 1 billion times. So by the time I face them, they know this guy's been listening to how we torture children for like 20 times a day. Those people want me to think that when I was a child, bring up this thing that didn't even happen. Because when I was a kid, I did something to myself that was inappropriate. What a child is capable of doing. In 8th grade, between the age of 13 and 14, closer to 14 if not 14 yet, that a child is capable of doing, because the brain of a child who just hit 14 years old can do that. That they've been trying to exaggerate. They try to make me think that's why we're matching your brain to today, which is not true. I didn't experience that as a child. I just did an impulsive act that a child can do, because children can do that as children. These people who torture children in the different variation that I brought up want me to think that they're making me pay for what a child is capable of doing, and make this noise campaign of the cases that never happened. That's why they were trying to push it to that level, and then actually make me think of like when it didn't happen, and try to make me think. And as I'm saying that, I'm playing, they're doing something with my finger, and try to make me imagine this of me when I'm a child. Look at the face of this kids over there, and look at the woman. People torturing children like this woman say, want to bring what a child did to himself, exaggerate that, while killing babies and having their retarded, let me calm down, having these poor children for the fact that they are here innocently as again try to learn how to do the kiss noise. The mother forcing it, and I'm like, no, it's like like that. I did that on purpose. I was like, that's because I know you playing my brain and you torture babies. For all the babies dying here, I'm not gonna let you do when you can hear children being electrocuted. So I started making different noises. If somebody who was a child was having seizure, a child that's gasping for air. The child that you're gonna hear being sexually tortured where they crutch their genitals because they're in pain. Ow! And say owie. Or ow. The children that you're gonna hear who get electrocuted. Like zap. I'm gonna start making those noises. You know, when they get mad, huh? What they do is like they're gonna bring the theatric torture. The torture that they tell me I'm gonna experience. It's like a compensation to compensate for the horrible things they do to children. It's like they're gonna stab you worse. I'm like, okay. Is that gonna block the execution of the children, the seizure of the children, the sexual torture of children, or the children that have been forced to have sexual dreams? But by the way, I'm ready for the confrontation. And I will not think about just me, for all the children suffering here. They need to pay for the amount of effort they do to negate and cover up what they're part of is killing babies. While they're training their kids to make their little noises, to think that I'm going to be subscriptive now when matching to you as a child. Pooh, trash. 3-week-old babies suffering in this program. You think I'm going to let that happen? Because they have some entitled low life. Who can do you, I swear to the soul, for all the suffering children. This trash, when she faced me, she thought that I subscribed to this manipulation. That I'm subscribing to the cover up of what they do. I promise you, my life means nothing at this point. If this thing happens, you know, the way they find ways to be condescending and cover that up is not fair. It's like, you're right, it's not fair. You're torturing and killing children. You're right. It's not fair. It's sad. It's very sad. It's very unfair for these children dying and suffering in this program. Being electrocuted, being half blinded temporarily, being a seizure. You're right. It's not fair. And for that unfairness, I will react accordingly. You come with your tantrum and your way you make yourself talk and the way you try to think you can counter that. I will have no sympathy. I promise you. Because all these unfair things, you need to be accountable for what you're part of. Please give me that chance to show you how uncountable you should be. But in the meantime, do your thing. But I'm looking forward to that confrontation. You're not going to be killing children and be calling it unfair. So I can just stay strong. Good. Come on. It's like, mwah. So this is part 2. I'm actually thankful they did this. This is what you hear, this trash. You hear this.
Resarcimiento y que puedan conseguir tratamiento médico para mejorar las condiciones que estas armas y estos criminales del gobierno que devengan un sueldo para torturar personas inocentes, incluyendo niños.
Good. Come on.
Resarcimiento y que puedan conseguir tratamiento médico para mejorar las condiciones que estas armas y estos criminales del gobierno que devengan un sueldo para torturar personas inocentes, incluyendo niños.
Because that day that was one of the first hearings I went to, and that day I forgot to bring my flyers with me. I did bring my cards, but I forgot to bring the flyers because I didn't know I was going to be able to see him. And I just blurted out and I said, little girls are being microwaved by the CIA. And he was surrounded by women like in his staff. And he said, he took my card. He said, I'm going to look into this. So I don't know. Let's hope he blows the whistle on that.
Eyes, and we have children as young as 3 years old that are hearing voices. They have implanted dreams, very violent and some in sexual nature. So American taxpayer money is being used, and this is, Maria, I just bring it to children. They're implanting children with atrocious dreams, many of them of a sexual nature. Throw these people
next door. The trick and I've heard all the stories. One guy believed it was some 14-year-old kid with an Xbox that lived next door. The trickery really is that great when you're under hypnosis that people will believe something other than a massive government could do this.
Ms. Catherine Nestor.
My name is Catherine Nestor, and I'm from Pennsylvania. This commission has spoken of a long history of abuse of the human research subject. Although no one mentioned MKUltra today, President Clinton recently apologized for this. My young child and I have been used as non-consensual test subjects. We have been subjected to COINTELPRO-like stalking, remote neural monitoring, and electromagnetic torture, resulting in psychological and physical damage. And I won't go into the details of that because I have 4 pages written in here that is very similar to Connie's testimony. Please do not wait 70 years to investigate this. I ask Dr. Amy Gutman to begin today.
I am currently a speech-language pathologist working in private practice with young children. I had a 7-year-old client who has autism, and she was the most significantly affected of all of my clients. I eventually had to tell this client to go to another clinic, and they used her to threaten the most torture in me as well as their most extreme forms of torture. For several months, she would cry and scream horribly during our therapy sessions despite having a great day at school. This was highly unusual behavior for her, as she usually behaved very well during her therapy sessions. observed her gasping for air a few times in the same way that I do when I am being more severely suffocated. The suffocation had been in a mild state for a while up until this point. Many of their torture methods are cyclical in severity. Right after I saw this child being suffocated, then I began to experience very extreme suffocation all day, every day, for about 2 months straight, and that's also when they made it worse when I eat. Then I also work with a 4-year-old little girl with Down syndrome, as well as her 5-year-old sister who also has Down syndrome. I observed both of these girls suddenly grabbing their genitals in pain and verbalizing, "ow." I observed this at least on 1 or 2 occasions for each of them during their separate sessions. During one session, I observed one of my 3-year-old clients suddenly grab his crotch and lean forward in his chair. And then he made a frightening grimace of severe
and have had
Yeah. So, we've spoken a few times. I'm going through the same thing. Our situations are a little different. So, I have the full-blown artificial telepathy. You're definitely receiving broadcasts because I've seen it in your photos. And, isn't it strange that sometimes you could feel some type of way that's not your feelings?
Yeah, they do that a lot. Can project anger, fear, and weird feelings. They can do pretty much anything that has access to the brain or to the mind.
Right.
Not just me, but I have children, and so my children are able to say certain things, like they can feel certain things.
Right.
Zaps on their body.
Yes, here's a filing-grounded, reportive case file summary of Devin Delaney Fraley and HF, with specific places you can verify each point in the accessible appellate petition materials, which reproduce key parts of the operative complaint. I'm going to rely most heavily on the Supreme Court appendix because it includes the relevant complaint excerpts verbatim, including the Fraley HF paragraphs, and is publicly accessible. 1. Where Fraley and HF appear across the litigation record. A District Court complaint excerpts in the Supreme Court appendix. The Supreme Court appendix contains the complaint section titled Devin Delaney Fraley and the follow-on paragraphs about HF starting immediately after that heading. B. Fifth Circuit Appeal, March 8, 2024. The Fifth Circuit opinion caption lists Devin Delaney Fraley and HF among the plaintiff's appellants. Notably, it labels JD and LM as a minor, but does not print a minor after HF in that caption line. C. Supreme Court Petition, July 23, 2024. The petition's petitioner list includes Devin Delaney Fraley and then separately lists HF a minor. It also includes a note explaining that after an amended complaint was filed, the minor daughter of petitioner Fraley was added as a claimant. Number 2, Fraley's allegations, what she claims happened to her. In the complaint excerpt, as reproduced in the appendix, Fraley alleges in substance she was nominated included in a TSDB subcategory, NS McCarthy blacklist, without notice and without an opportunity to rebut. She alleges she has suffered physical, electronic surveillance and organised stalking as part of being targeted. She alleges that around 2016, her targeting increased and she began experiencing artificial tinnitus and V2K continuously. She alleges directed energy weapon, DW attacks causing burns, including to her feet and genital area. She alleges the DW attacks caused symptoms she characterises as indicative of Havana syndrome, described as permanent brain and physical injuries. She alleges social, professional, personal repercussions, including suffering, anxiety and loss, and requests remedies including removal from the TSDB and damages. That is the core Fraley-specific symptom set and theory as pled in the excerpted complaint text. 3. HF's allegations, what Fraley claims happened to the child. In the same reproduced complaint excerpt, the filing describes HF as Fraley's daughter and a toddler, specifically referred to as 3-year-old. The text uses 3-year-old daughters, but the context is HF as the single minor plaintiff child. The allegations about the child's symptoms are described as, after the filing of the complaint, HF allegedly began showing signs of DVTK, and because she is incapable of verbalizing, Fraley says she inferred symptoms through behavioral changes, including irritability, slamming her head against the floor, extremely high body temperature upon waking, among others. The allegations about ongoing harm include alleged irritability, anguish, sweating, pain, and suffering every day, with asserted unknown damages to the child's developing brain. The allegations about why the child is in the case include the complaint excerpt alleges the defendants added HF
resarcimiento y que puedan conseguir tratamiento médico para mejorar las condiciones que estas armas y estos criminales del gobierno que devengan un sueldo para torturar personas inocentes, incluyendo niños.
Good.
Resarcimiento y que puedan conseguir tratamiento médico para mejorar las condiciones que estas armas y estos criminales del gobierno que devengan un sueldo para torturar personas inocentes, incluyendo niños. Mejorar las condiciones que estas armas y estos criminales del gobierno que devengan un sueldo para torturar personas inocentes, incluyendo niños, para que estas personas